Has he or have you guys, have you encountered like situations where you felt that the gods, whether it be through a devotional thing on a day of the week, or whether it be a group thing that with you and him and whoever else can attend, have you ever encountered a feeling where the gods uh, did or did not acknowledge, or like you feel their presence or not feel their presence, at any given
Yeah,
situation? Because I've always wondered too, when it comes to how we as heathens observe, the sacred, uh, the gods, the goddesses. A lot of folks will sit here and say that they believe in gods of limited access, meaning they come and they go, and they are here sometimes and they are not here other times. And just
yeah,
because a random guy in Missouri or in Tennessee or New York or wherever decides to, raise their hammer and hail Thor, doesn't mean that that's going to immediately summon Thor from whatever he's doing and he's going to acknowledge it. We hope
yeah,
so. We hope that in those moments, right, that what we're doing is going to maybe garner their attention. But I think a lot of heathens that believe in gods of limited access, that it would have to be that you also believe that that sometimes things that we do don't always get to them. So I was wondering if you ever encountered something like that, or if you've had any experience with this type of thing.
I would probably have to say, uh, it was just a personal tribal ritual that we did towards the end of September, and it wasn't like really like a holiday. It was just something that we all wanted to do together collectively before fall ended,
Hmm.
and we did the offerings and everything, and my friend Rob, uh, he's the one that pointed it out because like other rituals in the past, like we've kind of felt something, and it was more of an ancestral based ritual this time, and we still have felt a presence, but like the gods and the Asir and stuff, we really didn't feel their presence in this. And he mentioned it later on, like a few days later, and he's like, did something feel like, he's like, I don't want to use the word off, but something off about like last ritual. And I was like, yeah, I was like, the wind wasn't like blowing hardly as much as it usually does and stuff like that. And we were talking like pretty much about how like we feel energy, but you'd notice like nature kind of behaves different. Maybe you've even experienced this, like where nature reacts to the ritual itself, and
Yeah.
we weren't really necessarily getting the reaction from nature itself during the ritual. And we were kind of talking about that, and yeah, I didn't know the term like limited access, but yeah, we definitely like we don't believe they're like the Christian God, for example. They're everywhere at once at all times. Like they're definitely here and there whenever wherever they want to go.
Mm.
And so that's kind of what brought us into believing that kind of aspect is that maybe they just were busy, like
Mm.
doing something else, or
Yeah.
somebody else drew their attention. Like, but yeah,
Yeah, it makes me wonder too, with talking about like our personal interactions, our personal dealings with the gods, and making them something of a personal relationship to us. Like you say, you have examples of somebody who likes to devote a day or a time of day of the week to a god or goddess that the day of the week has a name that it's close to. Tuesday is Tyr's Day because two is the Proto-Germanic name of Tyr. And
yeah,
Thor's Day is Thunor. Thor, Thor is it's the Proto-Germanic name for Thor. And so yeah, we try to find these connections, these ways to feel personalized with the gods. And sometimes that doesn't always happen, especially like you say, when I've had moments where you know a hellbloat at night, we heard owls, we hear coyotes, we hear all like the sounds of nature kind of becoming part of the ritual, in a way.
mhm,
Like you say, how nature responds, or the way the wind is, or the storm or something that is happening.
mhm,
The behavior of the weather and all that. So those moments really give you that kind of tangible, personal feel, like what I'm doing is it's working.
yeah,
um, and then for the times that it doesn't connect that way, when you do everything that you can to build up the space, to set sacred space, to assemble people, and then there's just this seemingly like disconnect, or just doesn't feel like anything really is there, and how discouraging that can feel, to us when we are maybe wanting or expecting a certain outcome and we're not getting it. Um,
Yeah.
do you want to like, how does that make, how, I guess I would ask, like, how does that make you feel in those moments? Like, do you feel like you did something wrong, or that something was done wrong,
Yeah.
or how have you been able to like navigate through those feelings, when and as they happen?
Um, when those type of situations happen, and the way I described it to him too is, even though the reaction wasn't there, like we won't know if we offended them or made them angry at us until they let it be known that we screwed up. And there'll be, just random stuff might happen, or inconveniences might take place shortly after the ritual and stuff. So I kind of tied like some of those like might be because of the ritual, but like I told him like the discouragement and everything. I'm like, we did, our intent was there. Like we didn't do anything intentionally dishonorable. So I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't personally believe most of the time like anything negative would take place unless we go out of our way, and the just our intent was not what we wanted it to be, and the gods saw through that, saw through the ruse or whatever we were doing. And not saying I did, but just for conversation. But you know just whatever happened, like we could still build from it. And if anything, we might do like personal like heart offerings to either initiate more goodwill from the gods, or apologize for anything that we may have offended them with. Do like more personal based offerings, like I think with Thor, like offering oak leaves or stuff to like a ritual fire, or lighting incense or stuff around their statues in the house or outside, could probably gain her any apologetic faith with them. I think that would be beneficial.